Hi and welcome to Let's Talk eBay. My name is Rich Pasini. Today is December 2nd, 2021. Thank you for tuning in. I just want to start by saying thank you to all the new subscribers who recently subscribed to my channel. It's greatly appreciated. Hope you like the content. Come back for more. Today, I'm going to do my month-end sales. I'm sorry I didn't get it out yesterday. I was working on some stuff on the computer. Kind of got a little backtracked and it became too late at night. And I didn't want to, do it at that later night, part of the night. So anyway, here's what we got going on, folks. I'm going to try to keep this as short as possible. So without further ado, let's get right to it. Okay, first saw a sale so far, well, for the month of November, that is. We got the HP LaserJet 402. That's the Pro one there. I'm going to let you know too that the items that sold were promoted listings, and I do believe in promoted listings, folks. So do they work? I think so. I definitely do think they work. I sold quite a few things in October and going back since I started, so I do believe it works. But as you can see over here, my mouse cursor is moving. Right over here, it says over here sold via promoted listings. Okay, good printers. If you could pick them up like that, this was like in brand new condition. Sold it for $200 with free shipping. So, the buyer was pretty happy with it so far. I didn't get any complaints. I keep my fingers crossed. All right, so let's move right along, folks. All right, the next thing I got over here is the Peanut Snow Globe. This one here I picked up at the local thrift store. A lot of these items here I've picked up, I'm going to let you know, are from the thrift stores, just to give you a heads up on that part. This I picked up here a while back. I sold it for $37.99 with free shipping. So there was no, promoted listings with that whatsoever. So what you see there is what I sold it for. If you can if you come across these here, and especially the Charlie Brown ones, the peanut ones here, people do like them there. It didn't take too long to sell this here, but if you get them, make sure they're not leaking. And like I said again, sometimes in my other videos, I used to talk about being very definitive when it comes to descriptions. Make sure that you check everything out. And if it's like this the water was a little cloudy, I did put that in my description. So, just make sure you're very definitive when it comes to writing your descriptions out. Let the buyer, give the buyer heads up, let them make that decision whether they want to buy it or not. Okay, next thing I got over here is the U.S. Army dress uniform here. Picked this up again at the thrift store. This here sold, as you can see, with promoted listings. Was asking $95 for it, offered free shipping. Did great on it there so far. The buyers got it. Again, hopefully all these buyers are happy with this stuff. I didn't get anything back from them, so I hope they're happy with it and keep it. All right. If you see these dress blue uniforms, some people do like the military stuff like that. This was in really clean condition. So, if you pick them up and you get them for a good price, you might want to look into that as well. And I did mention that this did sell it with promoted listing. Okay, next thing over here is a vintage RCA AM/FM transistor radio. This just sold regular like I normally would here with this here. I did offer free shipping on it. I got the radio really dirt cheap, so I'm still coming out with a profit with that there as well. So just to let you know, keep a lookout for these things. People do like them. Moving right along, here's a Logitech K520 wireless keyboard with receiver. If you do buy these keyboards, these wireless keyboards, just a little word of advice, make sure you get the receiver with it. The receiver looks basically like over here. It looks like this here. It looks like a flash drive, some of them, okay? And there's ones that are really super small. I mean, there might be the size. They're like the size. Actually, they're like almost like the size of this here, with the USB pointing out of it like that. You know what I'm saying? They're really small. Those usually you might get them embedded in the back in the the covers. They're usually encased in the covers sometimes in the mouses. Wireless mouses. When you open up there, you'll see this little thing will be embedded in there. Check the mouse. If you're getting just a mouse, a wireless mouse, make sure you pull this down here where you put the battery compartment in, and you'll see. And so this is Logitech. Sometimes they keep them inside, or if it's a Microsoft one, sometimes they have ones that are like this, and they're embedded within the mouse itself. Okay, this is not the receiver. It's a flash drive, but it's almost the same thing as a receiver. Folks, I've gotten questions from people from my older videos way back when that they were asking, would my wireless keyboard work without the receiver? And the answer is no, none that I know of, okay? Because this is your communication device right here, but this ain't, I'm using as an example. This here is what communicates with the computer and the keyboard, the wireless device peripheral. Okay, if you want to call it that. There, that's what it would be working. That's what it needs to work. You will not, without this, or I should say without the receiver, you will not get the mouse or the keyboard to become operational. So if you're going to look for these here, make sure that you check for the receiver. Now on my Logitech mouse right here, my Logitech keyboard, on some of them, not this particular one, when you open up the battery compartment here, again, you will see a little USB receiver in there. Okay, if you pick these up and you notice that you open the back there, you don't see a receiver, it's not going to work. Can you still sell it without them? Yeah, I sell them without the receivers. But that's totally up to you if you want to take that chance. You might be sitting a little longer on, because some people, unless they bought the receivers separately, they might be sitting for a long time. I don't know. I have, I think, a couple of them that don't have the receivers, so we're going to see what happens with that there. But, you know, it is what it is. Okay, let's see if I got over here. I think my thing just timed out. I got to set this iPhone to stay on a little longer. Sorry about that, guys. All right, let's move on with the next one here. This one here is a power cord for Fiberwear electric percolators. If you come across these cords, I think I said in my other videos, if you come across them, you get them super cheap. It's a small profit margin, but people do buy them. I can't tell you, I sold quite a bit of the cords, just the power cords. They're usually two-prong, just like it says there. And some of them will come with the spring attached to the the adapter itself, and then you get some like this that are plain. If you get them really cheap, they do sell. Okay, not a big great sale, as you can see. I asked $9.49 for it, plus the buyer did pay with the shipping on that. And this here was sold through promoted listings. Oh, does the other one like that sold or that? No. Okay, the receiver. Okay, I'm just going back. I'm sorry, folks. I'm talking so fast that sometimes I forget what I'm saying. I'm sorry. Okay, another thing, too, you might want to be on the lookout outside the percolator electric cords is the Fiberwear pot itself. Now, a little story with the pot here is I picked this thing up for a good price. Can't complain. It's like brand new. People do like them. This seems like a good price point right here, $47.50. They seem to, it seems to be an attractive price to some buyers at some point. I sold quite a bit of them in that price range, and I've moved quite a bit of them. I sold a 2 to 12, 2 to 4 cup, 2 to 12. So they do sell. If you do see these here, these pots, if they're in good condition, make sure they have the stem in there, the stem, of course, because sometimes people take them out. I see them in thrift stores, they're like empty inside. All they got is the lid on there, and sometimes they don't have the power cord. But if you're at a thrift store like the one I go to, there's two of them the same there. I can usually get all the power cords I want, so I could always pair it up and make a complete unit. But the thing is, without the inside, the basket and the lid on there and the stem, you can't make coffee with it. But I will say this really quick. I had purchased a 2 to 4 Fiberwear coffee pot. They love the little guys too. Those little ones, they go quick. I mean, these go pretty good, but those little ones go quick. I purchased one time, and I didn't get a chance to check it out because I was with relatives, and they wanted to go to the other thrift store. So therefore, I just picked it up, untested, of course, and it looked great. It had everything on there. It had the basket, the stem, everything. When I brought it home to test it out, the heating element in there was burnt out. It didn't work, so I sold it in parts. Now, that's the thing I want to share with you guys. If you do get a pot like that, let's say you don't have the time to test it out to see if it works heating-wise, you may want to, sell it in parts. That's what I did. Now, I don't usually discuss how much I pay for the pot and these items I buy, but I bought that pot for $5, okay? I already made my money back on the cord and some other stuff that did sell for that pot. So sometimes you could double your money, in some cases triple it, okay? So for $5 investment, I'm still going to be making money up because I'm still selling parts from it. So you could also sell a pot for parts as well. You take the lid off, you could take the glass top off there. People will buy them. Now I have the glass top for the model 134. It's still sitting here. Someone purchased it and they sent it back. They said it didn't fit their pot. So, I don't know. To me, I think it's like a generic thing. I mean, they all seem to work, but apparently this person sent it back. Maybe they thought I was charging too much for it, whatever. Who knows? I don't know. But anyway, if you come across them, people like those pots. Fiberwear in particular, and Keurigs. I like the Fiberwear and Keurigs. Okay. Now, these boots here, now some of the women's clothing that you see here is from my daughters, okay? They had given to me. They didn't want them. They were going to donate them. So they said, Dad, I know you sell on eBay. Would you want to take a chance and sell this? So I said, yeah, why not, It's little nickels and dimes here and there, but you know what? I was given to me, so it's all clear profit. Whatever I sell them for, that's what I get, As you can see here, These are nice Alfani boots. I probably could have got more money for them, but I ended up selling them for $12.34, plus they paid the shipping. You can see the shipping was $10 on it. So the buyer did pay quite a bit on it. But you know what? They're Alfani, and they're like really good condition. We're like really super clean. My daughter hardly wore them, to be honest with you. So it depends. Women's clothing, I'm going to stay away from it once the stuff sells. If you look at my eBay listings, you'll notice they got some clothing there from my daughter's, whatever. I think a couple pairs of shoes, whatever, or jewelry, whatever. I figured offhand. But once that stuff sells, I'm not going to be doing too much with the women's clothing and stuff like that. All right. And besides, if you want to go, I feel this way, if you want to deal more on women's clothing, if you want into that category, you might want to try Poshmark. Poshmark seems to be okay with that there. All right. But anyway, let's see what else here. This year, now you're looking and said, wow, it's supposed to be a sold order, but yet it says cancel. What happened was the buyer made the purchase, and then like about maybe a minute later, can you please cancel the order? So eBay didn't remove it, but it showed up on the sold. So technically, this is not the sold listing. That's eBay's fault, not mine. I have no control over their website, so they didn't remove that. But that's why it's there. I believe that's still available. I know I had a couple of the same models like that. What I will say about the Sony Dream Machines, if you do come across them, if they're in good, clean condition, people do like them, okay? As you can see here, this is like really dirt cheap. I mean, $6.12. I just want to clear inventory out, so that's why you're probably saying, wow, it's really super cheap. Yeah, I just want to get rid of the items. So I believe that still is up on eBay. If you're interested in it, it's been tested, it works. And another little tip I want to share with you guys, especially if you're a newbie, if you got the time, I highly recommend that if you could print out a user guide or an operational sheet to help people out, especially when it comes to these type of items, the Sony Dream Machine clock radios, because I sold one a while back. Person didn't know how to operate it. I get messages from my older videos. How do you set the timer? How do you control the dimmer switch on there? These weren't people that bought per se. They actually didn't, they hit my YouTube channel because I did a demo on it. And I don't get fully into it. I told that to people once before. Some people said, well, how come you don't like go do the whole thing? I don't have the time to sit there verbatim, read instructions and say, well, this is how you set it, how you set it, whatever, the timer, the display, whatever. The thing is, when I was doing those videos, those demo videos, it's to show the potential buyer that the item is working, it's in working condition. Now, people might say, well, how could you say it's in working condition? Did you test it? I tested out. I mean, it's not really hard to figure it out, to be honest with you, but I print out instructions with it going forward. On the electronic items, I always print out instructions because you may get a person that don't know how to operate it, and it's a good selling point. I mean, if you look at some of my electronic things, I will include, even with the Keurig coffee makers, okay, I had a buyer that purchased a Keurig coffee maker, and they didn't know how to set it up, so they reached out to me. It was a buyer. And they said, how do you set this thing up? And I sent them to my a YouTube link where I did a demo on it. And I also sent them the instructions for them to have it. They got it. The buyer got it, and they were pretty happy with it. He said, I got it to work, and the rest is history with that. So if you can print out instructions especially with the electronic stuff, I think it's a game changer. I think it helps out too. I think in the end the buyers do appreciate that. Okay, this little Volkswagen here. These little cars, these little die-cast, they're okay. I'm not too much into the die-cast. I know some people will buy them. There are some people that buy the Hot Wheels, the vintage ones. I was watching a YouTuber that is a seller on eBay, and he had made purchase of these rare, we would call it their Hot Wheels, and he was making tons of money off of them, selling for $200-$300 a piece, whatever. But they're brand spanking new and they're vintage. Now, there must have been, I guess, those type of particular ones in demand or whatever, hard to get items. And this guy was making tons of money off of them. He came across a good deal. I guess he hit a guy that had them and they didn't want them, whatever. He made the purchase of them. He did good on them. I don't really get too much into them. I don't know if you guys are into die-cast or these type of items to sell. I probably shy away from them unless it's something really spectacular. I don't think I'm going to get too much into that there. But anyway, this sold through promoted listings. Did the other one sell through promoted listings? There we go. I don't want to keep skipping. I want to let you know what sold with the promoted listings. Okay, here is a Panasonic digital messaging system here. This one here was my personal one. Okay, I had it way back when. It worked great. I sold it for $45. I paid the free shipping on it, of course. It is sold on November 6th, as you can see here. I'm glad they put the dates there because people might say, how do I know this thing isn't like, these are listings like 5 years old already, you know, whatever. So I'm glad they put it on, but that's November. So we'll see what December is going to be like. I don't know. Okay, let's go with another one. Now here is the power cord. I remember I showed you one earlier in this here. Here's another one sold. $9.49 seems to be the magic price for them. It seems like people like them. So if you come across them, you get them dirt cheap. That's a good selling point right there. This one here, as you can see over here, right underneath the title there, it says sold via promoted listing. So keep an eye out for that. Also, the buyer paid the shipping on it as well. Okay, when it's that cheap, you know, I would like to have the buyer pay for it. You know what I'm saying? Now I know on that radio. That's the one that was for $6. If you notice, even though the radio was sold at a cheap, well, it was supposed to be sold at a cheap price, the buyer did pay for shipping on it. You know, there's only so much you could allot and give. You know, I don't mind giving deals to people, but you know, I want to also make money too. You know, all right. So if you come across these here, pick them up. The power cords for Fiberwear. If you get them cheap enough, there's a decent profit. Nothing great, nothing spectacular. You know, so you might want to keep that in mind. Okay. Here is the part there, the Fiberwear I was talking about, the super percolator one. That's that 2 to 4 cup pot I bought. That's the one that wasn't working. I'm selling it in parts. I'm selling the lid. That is part of the lid part there, right? The lid cover. Then I also have I think I still have the basket. I'm not sure if I have the stem, but I'm selling for all different prices. But you see right there, that there, just that alone, that Fiberwear percolator lid, paid for the coffee pot itself, the whole coffee pot. Okay, so think about it. When you start breaking it down in parts, I'll probably make my money 3 times over that at least. You know, I know I definitely get my money back for it. You know, because I already had sold parts for that. So if you come across with these things, keep that in mind. This, as you can see here, sold with promoted listing. Okay, let's move to the next one over here. This is the Sony ICF. 303 Dream Machine, right? AM and FM synthesized. This here, I showed you the other one. All right, that was canceled, but I've sold plenty of these Sony ICFs. They like the old vintage ones for some reason, okay? Now, I will say this. If you're going to buy these here, they do sell. They're not going to fly off the shelf, but here's a little word to the wise. If you're going to buy them, test them out. Okay, when you test them out, make sure the LED screen works on it, because you know sometimes when they're old and vintage like that, they will tend to the numbers start to fade. Okay, now a person's using this for personal use, you know, they're gonna want to be able to see the time. You know what I'm saying? They want to see the time on it. So make sure you're at a thrift store, whatever. If you buy it at a yard sale, hopefully the person's selling in good condition. But if you're at a thrift store, plug it in and make sure it works. Make sure you get all the LED. Go through all the numbers. You know, make sure the numbers work, because you don't want to have it where you might get a couple that work, and then let's say a 3, let's say an 8 looks like a 3, and a 3 looks like an 8. You know what I'm saying? Like, because it fades out. That ain't going to do the buyer any good. So make sure. And also, if I'm not mistaken, this here again, I sent them with the basic instructions on how to set it up. Okay, so you know, I think that helps. I really do think that helps, that instruction thing. I think it is a game changer when it comes to electronics. I'm not saying this things because of it they're gonna fly off the shelf, but I do think it helps. As this one here, as you can see, it didn't sell with via promoted listings. That's the price I asked for. I paid the free shipping on there. So far it was sold November 3rd. You always keep my fingers crossed. The reason why I say is because I have a 30-day money-back guarantee there. So anyway, this one over here. No brand wireless stereo headphones. Put them for $7.59. I got them for like next to nothing. And small little profit. I mean, really small profit. And the buyer paid the shipping on it. You can see the shipping's only $3.99. They were super light, but you know what? I tested them out. They're brand new. They were in a plastic case and everything with the instructions. They play good. It's a no brand name. That's why I put it. If you look at the list, the title there, wireless stereo headphones. So, I mean, for what the person got them for, you got to like for a song and a dance. I mean, I made a little profit, but that buyer got a good deal as far as I'm concerned. You know, and they sound really good. Believe it or not, even though they're very cheap, which they are, they sound pretty good. Okay, so that there, like I said, that just sold the way it is. Let's see what else I got over here. A Microsoft Wireless Keyboard 2000 with a receiver. Now, if you look over here, you're probably wondering the receiver. This is it right over here, like I talked earlier. This was, now with this particular receiver, this was in the back where the battery compartment is. When you open it up, if you're gonna, like I said, if you're gonna buy these these wireless keyboards, open up the battery compartment. You will see it's usually tucked in there. It could be a little guy, and sometimes it's a big one. It might look like this size. Depends. Well, not half the size of this here. As you can see, when my mouse cursor is pointing here, that's it. That's the receiver. You will not see them, they're not going to tape them onto it. The thrift stores I go to, they don't tape the receiver on there. It's usually, if it's in the battery compartment, that's what you should find. If you don't, then if you do buy it, you're going to have to put in there sold, with Microsoft, whatever, wireless keyboard, without the receiver. Make sure you put that in there, because if you're not paying attention that day and you send it out, I can't get it to work. There's something wrong with it. And then they're going to send it back to you, and they're going to say item not as described or item is defective, not working. And you're going to get a little ding on your seller performance. So be aware of that, folks, okay? Let's see what else we got. I think we're coming up to a wrap-up here soon. This one here is the Wilson Genuine Leather A360 leather softball glove. It used to be mine. I don't use it anymore. It was like brand new condition. It was up in the attic. I didn't want anymore. I don't know who's got time to play catch. I don't play baseball. I'm not really into sports. So anyway, I said, look, you know what? Let me get it out there. It's just sitting up in the attic. Let's let it go. I asked $19 for it. I paid the free shipping. Got rid of it. It went through promoted listings. Helped out. I do like the promoted list, I have to honestly say. Okay, let's go to the next one here. And I think this is the last. Oh, that was the last one. Okay. All right. That's the last one. But you know what? Let me just share one thing really quick. Really quick. This is for October 31st. We're not going to go into October sales. I just want to share this really quick. If you see these vintage red Viewmasters of 3D, pick them up. If you could get them for a cheap price, I mean really super cheap, like $2, $3, whatever, pick them up, because they do eventually sell. I sold a couple red ones, and I think I sold one black one. They like them. Okay, they like these things. Now, this one here, I'm making a pretty decent profit off of this here, because I got it for a good price. Plus, the buyer paid the shipping. And as you also notice on this, I know it's for October's, but it was sold through promoted listings. But if you see them, I'm just going to leave it at that. If you see them, the red ones, the black ones, the vintage ones, pick them up. They sell. I mean, they don't last too long. I can put it that way. I mean, I sold quite a bit, not hundreds of them, but I sold quite a bit of them. People seem to like those vintage Viewmasters. So if you see those, pick them up. Okay. On that note, folks, I'm going to close this video out. I'm going to do a video. I might do a video, another one later on. I'm thinking about calling the title "My Great Reset." What I want to do is I want to go into it. I want to go into my listings. I want to show you what I want to do, what my plans are to do, because I have items there sitting there. I have a lot of watches, but I don't have anybody any takers. Now, there's two ways to go about that really quick. When I say, dude, to me, I call it my great reset. It's to unlist all the items, unlist them all, and all the listings, and then relist them again, give it like a new fresh sweep, so to speak. And when they come up, they're going to come up as new listings. And I'm going to show you the dates, how old some of these things are. Okay? Now, you might say, well, you think that's a good idea? If you're going to, if you got watches on, you're just going to end all the listings? They may be potential buyers. They also may be potential sellers as well. Okay? Remember one thing, folks. I remember I was watching another YouTube guy who was talking about this here, and he was saying that don't always think that the watches you have or watches are potential buyers. That's probably your competition. And I know it's true. And how I know it's true? Hello. We all do. If you're a newbie, you're going to probably do the same thing. You may come across, let's say this printer, for example, this one over here, right? Let's say this printer. You may come across this printer, you got it for a good price, and you do your comps. So you go on eBay and you say, oh, there's a guy selling an HP LaserJet Pro for 402, right? Whatever. And I want to see what he's going to get for his price there, because I have the same exact one, same condition, it's great. I'm going to put him on my watch list and see if his sells. If his sells for $200, then maybe mine will sell for $200, People do watch. Okay, so I have on one of the items, I have on one of my listings, I guess I'll show you my next video. I think somebody have like 11 watches on this particular item. 11 watches and nobody's interested? Come on. Now people say, well, they're out shopping. If this item has been on eBay for close to a year or 6 months or 7 months, and you got that many watches and they're buying, folks, the best thing to do is do a clean reset. This way, it'll repopulate. It'll come out when it shows up. When you do it, end the listing, and it comes up as new, it'll be up high. It should be higher in search, because now eBay's algorithm is going to look at it as these are quote unquote new listings. Okay, I can't keep playing games with these things here. I was looking at some of the start dates on these things. It's ridiculous. The start dates on it is crazy. Some of them I think I might have some for July or something like that. They're old dates. That's all I know. Okay, and if and the reason why you might say, well, did you ever think about? And I did end some once before like that. I said, this is ridiculous. These things are so old. They're months old, almost close to a year old in some cases. So I'm going to probably end up blowing them out. I don't really care if I got the watches because you know something? Here's what I look at it. Okay, just to put it in a nutshell. If I want something that bad, I am not going to put it on a watch list. I'm not contradicting myself there. I'm trying to say, the point I'm trying to get across is, if I want something bad enough, I'm going to buy it. I'm not going to put it on a watch list. The only reason why I'm saying about when I put things on a watch list is because I want to see if people are selling things for ridiculous prices. I want to see if they're going to get that price. Okay? But when I go out and search for something, let's say I was going to buy a new Logitech mouse. Okay? I'm going to buy it. I'm not going to put it on the watch and say, oh, let me watch this guy and we'll go to that guy. And I want to buy it. Okay? I don't have time to put a watch list. If I need something really bad, I don't have the time. I want to buy it right there and then. Okay? The only time, like I said again, will put somebody on a watch list is if they are selling something similar to mine or the exact thing. I want to see if they're going to get it for that, if they're going to sell it for that price. It gives me a little idea on how to price my item. Okay, and that's when the site, not the, what do you call it, the retail war comes in, as far as like pricing war, I should say. So this person, let's say, is selling for $300, I'll sell mine for $200. But again, with those price points, you always got to make sure that it's becoming profitable for you. You're going to make money on it. You don't want to undercut yourself. Okay, that's the thing when it comes to pricing these items. That's why people do comps. I always say when I do a comp on items, I don't like to go too high and I don't like to go too low. I like to stay in the middle. But sometimes, even when you're in the middle, you may have to drop your price even a little more just to move it out. Okay? I'll probably talk about that in my next video. I don't know. I'm going to try to do it today. So you might see me coming up with a video later on. If not, I can't make promises because it does take time for me to do the research and stuff. I want to get things set up right. Make everything look good and work good here when it comes to doing my videos. So I just want to share that with you guys. So that's all I got right now for you. This is my sales for the month end. Nothing spectacular, but they are sales. And I always say something is better than nothing, right? That's all I got right now. But anyway, as I always like to close my videos out, folks, before I close it out, I just want to say thank you again to all the new subscribers who've recently subscribed to my channel. Okay, and if you are new to my channel, I'd like to do the reseller news and I like to do the Let's Talk eBay segment, which we're doing right now. I'm also a vlogger, so there may be times I might talk about something that's eBay non-related, but it ties into business and stuff. It's to help you guys out too. Outside of helping me, it also helps you. Okay, I call my channel, I say this, I made this thing up. It's called His Initiative, to help, inspire, and share. I want to help people out. I want to inspire you, and I want to share information with you guys. Okay, I don't have a book to sell you. I don't have a dream to sell you. All I have is free information. I do the research so you guys don't. Okay, and I do spend hours. I do spend hours doing this stuff here because I'm on it 7 days a week for like 6:30 in the morning until like 12:30, 1 o'clock in the morning. I mean, I do break for lunch, breakfast, lunch, and dinner, of course. But I do all that. I'm doing this research because, like I said, not only does it help you out, it helps me as well. Okay, the reseller news, if you check that out, that's basically tells you what's going on in the e-commerce world. So if you want to be up to date on the e-commerce, especially if you're an online reseller, if you're thinking about selling online, please check out the reseller news when I put it out there. And again, if you like my videos, hopefully you like me, please don't forget to hit that subscribe button, like, comment, and share. And if you want to be updated as to when I post any videos, please hit that bell notification icon. And now I'm going to close this video out. And as I always close it out with my following, if you are thinking about selling on eBay or you are a seller on eBay, I am wishing you guys all the best in sales. Until next time, bye-bye for now.